Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
Guys, we didn't plan this, but blue is the color of fall, I'm guessing, because we are on it today. Welcome back to Coastal Living. We have our first guest of the week in the house from Corpus Christi Rehabilitation Hospital to talk about Fall Prevention Awareness Day, which is today. And we're not talking about fall this season because we want that to come, but we do want to prevent falling on the ground. So please welcome Maurice Curran. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Tell me, what is fall prevention? I wasn't sure how to interpret it, but I know that we want the season to come, so we just don't want to fall.
Right. So fall injury prevention is like a national endeavor to kind of bring awareness to fall injury and fall prevention.
Yes, which can be a huge issue, not only with elderly people, but just people in general. I mean, if you've got vertigo or you're just clumsy like me and you fall for no reason, it's a problem.
Actually, yeah, it's a major problem. You're talking about in the year U.S. alone, there's about 800,000 admissions every year.
Wow.
And it's estimated by the year 2030, it's going to cost us about $100 billion a year.
Yeah, and it's not just, you know, your average fall, like, oh, I'm fine, and you scratch off your, I mean, this is broken hips and limbs and elbows and everything's getting knocked out of place, right? So who is at risk for a fall?
Like you mentioned, the elderly, of course, but then, so the very young kids and the elderly are the main populations who are affected by falls.
Yes, and young kids can be pretty resilient.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then with the elderly, it's tough because you're not always a good candidate for surgery or whatever type of replacement that you need. So sometimes that can be a downward spiral after a fall. I know that happened with my grandmother. It was really, really sad. And before that, she was mowing her lawn by herself. And I mean, you're doing everything. So what can we do to prevent a fall? How do you prevent something like that from happening?
So again, the main risk factors for elderly is your age alone. So like every year, go get your vision tested.
Yes.
That's very important so that you can see drop-offs in your house, that kind of thing, missteps, those type of things. Get your medicines reviewed every year by your doctor, because a lot of us see many doctors, and so not everybody communicates the same.
That's right.
So you could be on many medications that have interactions, so you want to make sure that those are reviewed. Look at things around your house. So if you have dangly cords around your house that are trip hazards or rugs, those kind of things.
Tiny little steps from one room to the next.
Exactly, those type of things. And a key thing too would be to have a phone readily available at a low level, because if you fall, you can't reach your phone that's up on the wall or up on your bureau or up on your desk.
Or even the life alert thing,
yes,
right?
exactly.
I would imagine things like that come in helpful. So what about somebody who wants to actually go and dive in and really learn more? How can we learn more?
So tonight at Corpus Christi Rehab Hospital, we're going to have a free seminar open to the public.
Nice.
Starts at 5:30 till 7. And so we're going to talk about injury prevention and what you can do. There's like devices that you can use out there. There's hip protectors, there's fall mats. So we're going to have some of those to demonstrate for our people. And again, it's free to the public.
Awesome. And this might even be helpful for the person whose parents are getting to that age, and you want to watch out, because you can be real stubborn when you get to that age and you're like, I'm fine, I can mow my own lawn, I don't worry about falling. But all it takes is one. So it is something to go out and, just like you said, double check those little things, the small steps, the few steps that it takes to get up and down from your doorstep. And you mentioned the seminar is at CC Rehab. Where are you located?
So 5726 Esplanade, so kind of right in behind Spawn South.
Awesome. And is there a charge or anything to go to this event?
Free to the public.
Awesome. Okay, great. So guys, head out and go check that out. What else does CC Rehab offer as far as fall prevention? I mean, what else can we do?
So the main thing is like education and encouraging people to look at those things that we talked about. Again, like the vision checks, getting your hearing tested, looking at your medications, home environment changes, external environment changes. We encourage people to exercise. Exercise is one of the key things that people can do. So attending yoga exercises, those type of things, get your core strong so that if you do fall, you're at less risk of hurting yourself.
Yeah, you're trained in falling, which is actually something that you want to be well versed in. And then there's like the silver sneakers and the chair friendly activities for people who may not be so limber, and maybe you're able to get up and down and walk around, but an intense exercise may not be for you. And what about, I know vertigo is a big problem for a lot of people. What about somebody that suffers with vertigo?
So inner ear changes are kind of a normal process as we age and stuff. That's why you see a lot of elderly people will kind of walk with their legs apart and kind of shuffling a little bit. That's for those reasons. So that's one of the things, I guess, if you're shuffling, you want to make sure that your environment is free of trip hazards, like we talked about with the plugs and the floor mats and all that kind of things. So just be careful with those.
Yeah, especially, like you mentioned, the little cord that's dangling, or for me, I'm always running into open cabinets because I never close anything properly. So even that'll be like, and then you fall from there. I'm clumsy clear though, so that's just a recurring problem for me. So as you mentioned, we can do yoga, we can go for a daily walk. Are there some different stretches that we could do, basic stretches that will kind of help with your core or help you maintain balance better?
There are, of course, there's a lot of community organizations that does Tai Chi. So Tai Chi is fantastic, yes. So it's just simple exercises that you could do to strengthen, even what you mentioned about chair exercises. So we'll be demonstrating some of those different exercises tonight that you can do.
Tonight at the event. Okay,
Yes.
great. So give me the details one more time. We've got.
So it's tonight at 5:30 to 7
Okay.
p.m. It's at Corpus Christi Rehabilitation Hospital, which is
Okay.
5726 Esplanade Drive.
And for more information, 361-906-3700. Now, if you are elderly, maybe you are not in a position to drive anymore, so that's when you call up your kiddos or your friend
Exactly.
and you make a date of it. You can go grab some Denny's afterwards. Sounds like a good time. All right, well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
and helping raise awareness for fall prevention. So if there's somebody in your family, in your life that you think is at risk for a fall, let them know about this event and encourage them to go get educated. Don't go anywhere. Our friends from TOKC are here to continue spreading awareness for Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. You're watching Coastal Living. We'll be right back. Does it mean
You're watching Coastal Living on KZTV, the only lifestyle show made in the Coastal Bend for the Coastal Bend.
Don't go anywhere.
we'll be right back.